Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dorado Show. We hope that you all been enjoying the past episodes, and if you like it, please tell someone. We're on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. So with that said, we're just going to be going on to the next set of stories and adventures. Last time we hit B.B. King pretty good, and that's it. So with that said, let's start the show. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Just get right into it.
A little bit over there, but oh well.
Yeah, it's all right.
It'll get better.
Hey.
Still practicing.
That always sounds good, yes.
Still practicing.
It's our live intro.
There's like never end to guitar playing. That's what's wonderful about music.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a beginning, and there's never an end.
Yep. Keep on doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how you doing?
Yeah, pretty darn good.
Yes,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's still upright, so everything's good.
That's right. Made it to the next one.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and start out, if you don't mind here.
Sure. Let me get this.
Yeah, we like to send a thank you note to all the veterans for your constant watch over the United States and other countries looking for democracy. It is a very tough job. And I know you're all on call for 24 hours a day. There's no real rest while you're out there protecting the people that are sleeping. Thanks again for keeping America and the world a safer place. I'd like to thank Denny's for a good Grand Slam. I'd also like to go ahead and thank Buffalo Wild Wings for their good fries and wings. And also Red Robin for their double burger fries, and Texas Roadhouse for their 6-ounce steak and 2 sides. Thank you for your kindness. The veterans in the high desert, Victorville, Hesperia, Apple Valley, and thanks to all. Thank all I could eat for a day. So many others gave their thanks to vets. I was looking forward to a place to live. If you're looking for a place to live after you do your time, check out the High Desert, California. And thank you, the VFW Hall 12108, for acknowledging my wife and myself in a book they put out. Mm-hmm. And thank you, one more shout out to my neighbor, Teresa, Kathy, and Thad, and the family, the Hardens, for helping a neighbor vet help me build my fence.
Yes.
So I'd like to go ahead and start out with thank you, veterans. You know, it was an honor for me to go ahead and serve, and at the same time, I enjoy some of the benefits of the reward here for serving my time.
That's right.
And there we go. Now, we won't go any further into politics because I know we're all 50-50.
Right. Yeah, for all those listening, yes, it was just Veterans Day just passed, and my dad spent the day out in the high desert reaping the benefits.
That's right. No, the part that I didn't go ahead and mention while I was saying thank you to everybody was I was out there with Mike Kaminsky, and he's got a 59 Corvette. So we were riding around in all these places in a 59
so
Corvette.
Yeah.
Another fellow veteran.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. So we were out there doing our thing in the vet. Then later on, we decided to go back to the house and take maybe about a 30-minute break before we took off to our next place to eat. But anyways, when we went over to his house and we started up his 41 Buick.
Oh, wow.
He calls it the Blues Mobile.
Mm-hmm. That is sweet.
And we were riding around again. Yeah, it was awesome.
One classic after the other.
Thumbs up all over.
That's right. Everybody's showing love, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, way too much fun. In other words, I had a good Veterans Day.
Yes, that's awesome.
Right. Ran into a lot of brothers and sisters out there, so that was nice, too. And everybody got a chance to go ahead and share some of their experiences out there. And different adventures. So it was pretty exciting to go ahead and hear.
Sure.
And back in the day in that area, yeah, George Air Force Base was there. So I noticed a lot of veterans from maybe late, probably say maybe in the 60s to 65, because I told her I went in 67, and there weren't that many representatives of our group out there, but the other quite a few veterans after that.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyways, I could imagine. I don't want to think about that part there. Really, a pretty tough time, and people are not doing well in the Vietnam era group. So
sure,
it's hard for them to get around to begin with. So, but thank you, the high desert, and then thank you for keeping those prices for California, the right prices. For people who live out in this kind of area. The rest of the United States is it's not bad. Come to California, look out.
That's right.
yeah, the prices don't get you, then the what is it? The taxes will.
Yep.
Yeah. Going back to Cali.
Expensive out here.
Anyways, speaking of back to Cali, yeah, then last week I think I left off with a story there, quite a bit of the happiness there coming out with that B.B. King movie, and then some experiences that I had a chance to share with B.B. himself. So it was pretty exciting podcast last week. But anyways, we returned back to myself, me, the wife, and the new baby here. We returned back to Whittier and La Habra area. I had a new wife, new child, and music, of course, is still my priority, but it was a lot tougher because, we had the ultimate in Vegas. It's entertainment capital of the world.
Right.
So to go ahead and come out here and try to match that, real tough cookie. Real tough cookie.
Yeah, you'll be in L.A. a lot, I guess.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I had to go ahead, and then we were out here in the suburbs, La Habra, California, and Whittier, California, about maybe 20, 25 miles out of the hub of, Hollywood and that kind of thing.
Right.
So really it was, a lot of new bands are coming up, but we had a disappointment with live music when I came back to California. Live music wasn't as available as it was before, thanks to the disco era.
Ah, that's it.
So then,
that's
boom,
what happened.
Disco popped in, and then live bands started going out.
Yeah.
And for a club owner or whatever, you could think about their finances on that. You pay one DJ, and here he spins records.
Right.
And you don't have to go ahead and pay the band.
So that's when the DJs start coming in.
That's right. The DJs start coming in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, it was a different thing. So to find live music and who could afford bigger bands, all the bands started getting smaller, and you might get a 10-piece once upon a time. Next thing you know, you're down to 4 pieces, and then even there, it's just, it was hard to sell.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't make all that much money. And so that's when I guess a lot of band members had to go ahead and start doing the day gig, then go ahead and switch over to playing at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't support.
Right. So it was pretty tough. Yeah. So that's what I walked into. And then I had
go back to Vegas now.
Go back to Vegas. No. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what I have down here in my note here.
All right.
Yeah. I came back to let's see. I traveled with a guitar, of course, and then I don't know if it was a Korean made or Japanese made, but it was that's basically what you wanted to carry around anyways,
right?
Because you don't know when you have to leave or whatever, and so that's what I had to go ahead and play with. And then I can't remember where I got the guts to an amplifier, but I made an amp also out of this other amp. And all my tubes and everything were exposed so it wouldn't get too hot. But it still got hot anyways. Tubes are tubes. But anyways, Yeah, then my speaker, instead of having a speaker cabinet, I made it out of pressed wood, and I think I used a Vox speaker for it.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
So
custom.
You had to go ahead and do what you got to do.
Right. Yeah.
Low money, and then still it was all right. If something happened, oh well.
Right. Yep.
No great loss.
That's right.
But it did have a good sound.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
What's that?
That's
Pardon?
pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Putting all the stuff together.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do when you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
No, I put my own pickups in my guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
First ones.
There you
Yes.
go. Can't help but do it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Get the right sound.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I had about $1,800 saved up to go ahead and go out there and experience my new life. So that was pretty fair. That part was good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here I am, brand new wife, brand new baby. $1,800 I had saved to go ahead and start our new existence.
Mm-hmm.
I go down over there to the welfare department to go ahead and get food stamps.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And we didn't qualify. I seen all these kids out there in college and everything else getting all these food stamps. I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
During my time frame, we got shot at. A lot of people didn't make it back.
Right.
58,000 of us, and a lot of them were injured. Maybe about 2-3 million. And here we come back and can't get food stamps.
Jeez.
I just come out of the service. And I just could not believe, what a slap in the face. Here we sacrificed our life for the well-being of another group of people that really didn't support the war. That's neat. But then even the places that were supposed to help you weren't there to help us. So then, of course, I had to live with my mother for a while and that kind of thing. So then
tough
the music part was on hold right now. It was coasting. It wasn't. I didn't get that live experience right away. I got an experience of rejection, I guess. It was sort of like being an actor. You go out there and do your stuff, and you find out you don't get the part.
All right.
You got to go back over there to unemployment.
Yep.
Then your unemployment is real low. That's basically what I had to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, it was tough times, really. So then, same time, too, when tough times were that way, you really didn't go out because you didn't have gas money or food money or whatever.
Sure.
So, it's just existence. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have a job lined up or anything after?
No, now here we go with it. The job now that I had lined up was still my old factory job.
Oh, okay.
And thanks to Jimmy Hoffa Sr., he kept the unions real strong. Now, remember I left Nevada, and Nevada was real strong with the mob.
Right.
Back in the old days, the mob was still in charge of the unions. That's when Mid-America, wake up, when Mid-America was doing well.
Yeah.
And see, it was their power to go ahead and do that. And plus that, we had people like Ralph Nader. Ralph Nader was a person out there to make sure that our products were up to par. Mm-hmm. So we were always number one in the world. Now, today, we don't have any of those kind of safeguards.
Sure.
I drive around a car that's put together with plastic. And I see a lot of people getting a fender bender. They just put duct tape on the front and keep on going, Yeah, back in the old days, you had good old chrome.
Jeez, right.
Right.
Yeah, the quality of the...
That's right.
For sure, the automotive industry went down.
Well, it's just... we lost the run on that one, even though I don't know why. I remember I ran into a guy one time that he built a carburetor that could do 100 miles to a gallon. And these cars weighed back in the day like 3,000 or more pounds. Mm-hmm. And this guy figured a way how to go ahead and do it. I think it was a water injection system that went inside the carburetor and it neutralized something, so then you got more distance out of it, and then it burned clean because it was water.
Right.
So anyways, along with air mixture. But anyway, so then I heard later on that his carburetor was bought up by the big companies to go ahead and not put it out.
Squash it. Yeah.
That's so much for fracking back in the day. Now we got fracking.
Right.
But anyways, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, it sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so let's see. My unemployment thing wasn't very much, of course, because I hardly made any money in the service. So most of my money was pickup money here and there, scrambling around to make a few bucks. Yep. And then let's see what I got here. Yeah, so anyways, thanks to the unions, then I went back to the slave labor place. But the reason I went back there, not only it was high paying. There was not even a government job out there that even offered half as much.
Wow, yeah.
It was right around that area, because I think everybody back in that day might have been making, a regular laborer might have been maybe a government employee might have been $4, $5 an hour. And I was making like $9 an hour at a slave labor place. So
Jeez.
Here I am, plus all benefits.
All right.
And then I had 4 years of seniority when I was gone in the service, and they gave it back to me thanks to the unions.
That's good, right.
And so then when I went in there, I was just like a regular employee that has time vested. So then, everything looked real good. So, so I had to end up doing that kind of thing for a while, and until we got comfortable enough to go ahead and leave the house, and then we ended up getting a place to live right here in La Habra. So we left from Whittier to La Habra. Now the good part of that thing was, I had a friend that was playing over at right behind the apartments that we were renting. It was pretty cool. What was the name of that place? Mr. Max, I think. Yeah, it was Mr. Max's. So all of a sudden, here I am back in touch. That's what I say when you're out there hanging out.
Right.
Next thing you know, boom, that music bug hits you right there. And
Sure.
anytime Danny Michaels, blind musician, but he was so good. But then my friend Mario from elementary school was playing there too. He's a keyboard player, and it was good. It was good to go ahead and have him there.
That's great.
Just walk in, maybe buy a drink, maybe not.
Right.
Just they'd be happy to have me in there. So got my music fixes right there.
Sweet.
So, thank goodness.
So it's a little jam place too, or just to go see live music.
It was live music. Yeah, but little Ron ended up jumping in there doing the disco thing. Little Ron is still around today. He still does. He does car shows now. But he told us that I was out there hanging out with Art one day and ran into Little Ron. I told him, hey, Little Ron did Anaheim Stadium. About 20,000 people there. Doing disco stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was his biggest crowd ever. So we were talking about big crowds.
Yes.
And it was pretty neat to see the fire in his eye. And then my sister, good dancer, of course. Yeah, she used to always want to dance with Little Ron.
Oh, really?
Because he was a swinger, so he knew how to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, my sister Susie, the good dancer. I'm sorry, Cork. No, you're a good dancer too.
That's right.
Oh boy, would I get in trouble.
Yeah.
You guys are into getting me in trouble. This is what this is about.
It's all recorded.
That's right. But anyways, that saved me.
Yeah.
So anyways, here I am back at the job, slave labor place. The thing that was really tough about working in a place like that was you might have done your 40 hours. I was looking back just lately, and I was thinking about if I ever worked a 40-hour work week in my life, and it was no. So I've always worked over 40 hours my whole working career. And so in that slave labor place, Container Corporation of America, salute. But anyways, over there, if your relief didn't show up, then you had to pull their shift.
Oh, really?
So that's why I call it the slave labor place. A guy didn't maybe he didn't make it, he got sick or whatever.
Right.
Or else he found out he had to work this particular line and it's too tough, so he decided not to show up. So then I'd have to do his job.
Oh, geez.
So then they give me a half-hour break, and then after that, then I'd have to go back on the line again until his shift was over.
Oh, that's tough.
So it was a tough job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that's the way it was back in that day. That's why I always question about the validity of the statement saying, well, let's bring the manufacturing job to America. Oh, for what? Give it to the Chinese.
Depends what kind of labor, right?
Right, that's right. It was a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in my profession lost their fingers and hurt their back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You don't need that.
Right.
Yeah, listen to that, coal miners. How many of you are still alive after digging them?
Right.
Right. See?
Yeah.
You don't
All these
think about
elements.
it. They did have a job, and it did work, but the consequences are too great.
Right.
So really, it's just like
Quality of life and health.
right, and then extension of life.
Oh,
So I remember my dad's group of people. Yeah, after they retired, 60 whatever, then 2-3 years later they were dead.
That's it.
So you really paid a high price for working in kind of that in that kind of environment.
Right.
So slave labor, you got one side to look at, you make the cash. The other side, you ain't gonna be here long. Yeah. But anyways, thanks to the labor unions and everything, they did end up working in our favor up to a certain point. And then Nader for out there reminding big corporations that they, that they followed the rules of safety. So that was the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just looking him up right now.
Right. Yeah.
He's still alive, yeah. He's an American political activist, author, lecturer, lawyer, and presidential candidate.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was under I think the Green Party or something. One of those parties that never make enough money to go ahead and, but their voice is good.
Right.
But that's about it. Yeah. It's a shame because, it's not a bad party, really. Their ideals are excellent. But we don't run that way.
That's right.
Nobody in the world does. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, the transition from service to personnel, I guess I did bring that up. Anyways, after we were out there to go ahead and satisfy my need for music, I was really pleasantly surprised to go ahead and receive one of the nicest gifts in the 70s here. My mother was friends with Nellie Negron. Nellie Negron was Chuck Negron's stepmother. She was, I used to babysit Chuck Negron's brother and sister.
Right.
So Nellie and my mom would be going out. So
that's funny. Yeah.
So as a reward for that, then they ended up getting me and Dee backstage passes to Three Dog Night.
Yes.
During the height of their, I think they had 9 or 10 #1 hits.
Sure. Yeah.
And then their warm up band was back in the 50s and 60s was actually Neil Sedaka.
Oh, really?
Neil Sedaka. When I looked him up, I found out he was part of the Tokens. Now, part of the Tokens back in that day, in the 50s, Lions Sleep Tonight. Now, that was the name of the song for the Tokens. Then later, Neil Sedaka, being a writer and everything else, he's a very, very talented man. But anyways, he did, he was the warm-up band for Three Dog Night.
Oh, wow.
So when we were backstage, we were like with the ultimate music group people around at that time. So, yeah, it was very, very good experience there.
So explain who Chuck Negron is and...
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
Is that further?
Chuck Negron over here is, part of the Three Dog Night. He lived out here in Montebello. And so he was a local guy, does good. Local band does good.
That's right.
Yeah. And, I remember one time his dad always wanted me to work with him. Yeah, I had an insurance license at that time. He wanted me to go ahead and work with him. And then I wouldn't go ahead and get 100% commission. So anytime you do 100% commission, you got to pay tax and gas and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And here I just left there. I was inside the manufacturing world, and I still made just about the same amount of money as these people selling insurance. So why make the change and no benefit,
Right, yeah.
So anyways, I just stuck with them. Yeah, do you got a list of Chuck Negron there?
I'm just looking up the, it's their Wikipedia page.
Are you? Yeah, let's see what I got here for notes.
Go ahead.
Okay, the songs that were the top 10 number ones. Oh, no, that's a different segment. But anyways, it was, let me see, I got it here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the top 10 again. Yeah, Joy to the World was one of them. And then, let's see, I got to look through my notes here. But anyways, back then, Three Dog Night were number one, and they're number one everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was a good time. Well, here it is. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, let me go ahead and go on. I'm looking up some other part here.
Sure.
Don't want any dead time here. But anyways, Neil Sedaka, he wrote Calendar Girl, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, Oh Carol, Laughter in the Rain. And he was a songwriter, a composer, pianist, and a pop music artist. So, yeah, the other day I ran into him at, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I ran into him by the elevator going up to the rooms over at the Orleans when we were there for Viva Las Vegas gathering.
Oh, wow.
So I guess he was playing the showroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was over there. I was going to try to talk to him, but his people wouldn't let me even come close to him. If you ever been to a Viva Las Vegas gathering, it's so chaotic by the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
All you want to do is get the heck out of everybody's way and get on to your wherever you had to be.
That's true, right?
Yep. Mm-mm. But, yeah, there he was. Now, let's see. So what an interesting treat that was to go ahead and go backstage with the big people back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really like that.
Yeah, see, I got, I started integrating different things inside here is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tied me over. Songs were on the top 10. Number one was Joy to the World, an old-fashioned love song. One is the loneliest number. Shambhala, Mama Told Me Not to Come, Try a Little Tenderness. I guess they did a little something there too. Too Hard, Black and White. Then they ranked up there with Chicago and the Beach Boys as the most successful American band of all time. The only people that were doing
Wow. I didn't know that.
We're doing trio singing like that was the Fifth Dimension. That was a different style of music. So, but anyways, that's basically their top number one hits, and it ran for quite a few years. And it's just we got to know the Negron family, and then was Taylor. Remember Taylor Negron? Yeah, he was in the movies there, so he was in the movie business, and. I can't remember which movies he was in. I remember he always played a bad guy and always got killed. But
Isn't he a cousin?
Right, yeah, it was Chuck's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so we were in there with the family, Puerto Ricans. Viva! But anyways, it was pretty neat to be back there. So that I really got a good taste over there. So that held me over for a little while,
right?
Maybe a month or so.
Get back up to the next.
What else is up?
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, it was $1,800. Then I'd go back to that one there before I had our apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I had an opportunity there to go ahead and purchase a car.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I was in the mood to go buy a car. So I went out there. I found a Ferrari for $3,500.
Sweet.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, I ran into a deal. It was a 1963 250 GTE Series 2, Type 128E engine, top speed 143. So
Wow.
it was a 2+2.
Yeah.
So that meant it had a back seat. So I was thinking, oh, D's in the front, Elaine's in the back. Perfect.
Right?
I open up the hood. There's 3 2-barrel carburetors. Well, I just go ahead and disconnect those 2, and I just run off of one. Save some gas.
Right. Had it thought through there.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was going all the way through the stuff.
Yeah.
And after my buy, I was in my mind. I was already in the car, shifting gears.
Right. Oh yeah.
But then all of a sudden I had to come back down to earth.
No. Couldn't do it, huh?
I couldn't do it. Yeah. Dee Dee gave me that
too
look
bad.
like, oh, you better not. No, you better not.
Yep. What's it worth now?
Yeah, right around. It's about maybe 700,000.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I see when
Guess you
it's
never
so
know.
primo shape. It was just
Oh, really?
unreal. I was going, oh
Jeez.
my God. I showed Taylor. Say,
Yeah.
Taylor, that's my granddaughter. Say, Taylor, look at this. This is what your grandpa could have had.
Your grandma said no. Had to eat.
Something like food and a place to live. No, because they checked my credit, and it was good because I was there working at the place.
Oh,
So
sure,
on
yeah.
paper, everything was good. Now the part that was bad, because they did really qualify for, I think it was a 64 Rolls Royce, but then the insurance part was so high that nobody would finance me
Oh, wow.
anyways. So it's just like, well,
Right.
it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. You know,
Yes.
what the heck? Yeah.
Sure, the repairs are
Yeah.
expensive as well.
Well, yeah, the Rolls, they wanted they wouldn't do regular insurance on a person like myself. So you'd have to go ahead and get, I guess, bonded or something, and you had to go
That's
get
pretty
all this
crazy.
other stuff. So they had to show enough money to cover the cost in case there was a problem, and it wasn't a conventional type of loan. So no one flew with it, and then my age, I was too young to go. I guess it was in my probably maybe 24, 25, something like that.
Still like your style. Going big.
What the heck?
Yeah.
It felt
as
like
well.
the president then.
Right.
You just go out there and do whatever you're going to do, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Forget about the cost.
Yeah. Just get it.
Just get it. But then, then after that, the truth ran on me.
That's right.
Yeah, and then back in the old days, I didn't get together with my guys from high school anymore, because all of us had interesting, different experiences all over. And then at the same time, I was thinking if I did, boy, would I ever get myself in trouble. So I decided not to go ahead and hang out with too many of
that's
my
good.
old cronies.
Right.
New
get
responsibilities,
back into
and
the mix. That's
had to grow up past point A or B or C or whatever.
Right.
And so, I took on that responsibility role thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be having a lot of playing time, and then more than likely, I'd probably get myself involved in a band, of course. And yeah. Then my sister Susie, then she was going out with this guy that was a dancer, real good dancer, of course. And then his friends were all players. They're from the other side of town there, South Whittier area. And then they were horn players. And it was just like,
Wow.
yeah. And then nobody had a
Good dog.
job, so it's just like, every now and then they work, but
Right.
everybody was still over at Mr. Max's. That's where everybody hung out.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
That's the spot.
Yep. Yeah, it sure did a bad job, that disco. So that's what I heard from everybody. Yeah, during the time that I was out there, I had to go ahead and see what the general public was up to, because then here I come out there, and then my sister's part of like the Brown Beret kind of thing, and Brown Power and all that kind of thing. Everybody had their
Right.
different, depending on their ethnicity. And well, more than that, you know, you had the Black Panthers, Round Power, and then the other people. There was Peace, and then No War, and there were so many different things out there. It was, but I had to go ahead and see them because I never heard of all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, when they had Woodstock, I didn't even know what Woodstock was.
Oh,
you
really?
know? Oh, yeah.
Ah,
I was sheltered from the activities of humanity.
I get, right.
Yeah.
So that was all your time in the Air Force?
Right. Yeah. I remember one time I ran into a guy and he tells me, yeah, I like that song. You know, it was by the Rascals. All Day Music, I think it was, something like that. Music is what we like to play. Yeah. And then I said, wow, that really is good. He said, you don't know this guy from New Jersey? Yeah, you don't know that? And I said, no, I never heard of it. And he goes, yeah, over back east, that's number one. I said, well, we're here with the Midnighters, and a sad girl is going on in our place.
That's right. Yeah, that's interesting how music is.
Oh, yeah.
Different, you know,
right.
West Coast, East Coast.
Right.
Central areas.
It still is today, really.
Right.
It's just, just that we don't realize because we're in such a mixed environment. But then you go out there in different places, then you see the taste buds. Yeah, it reminds me of that time we were, up in Montana, out there visiting Diana's sister and her husband. We were out there, and they had a fair. And that fair over there, they had fiddle music and a bass. And I'm going, what the heck is this?
Right.
So it's like the beginning of what is it? Grassroots.
Bluegrass?
Yeah, that's it. It was like bluegrass with the violin and the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I was going, oh my God, this is unreal. But then I started thinking, I'm in this environment. That is really cool.
Right.
And the more I listened to it, it was really cool.
I bet. Right. Yeah.
So
Something
now,
so different. But
hats off to Jerry Garcia. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he played a very versatile player. So, yeah, he used to get involved in those bluegrass festivals.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania, I think, was his place. But you know, when all the fish people would follow him around.
Sure. The Deadheads.
That's it. The Deadheads.
Deadheads. Yeah, there is a Fish there. Fish is the other band.
Okay. Yeah, the Deadheads.
Yeah, the Deadhead.
Yep.
Yeah, I never got a chance to see Jerry.
Yeah.
Or the Grateful Dead. Yeah, had friends though back in high school.
Yeah. They went to see him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like Billy.
Did he?
Billy Carazal, yeah.
Oh, man.
What's up, Billy?
Yeah.
Las Vegas, yeah. So.
Ever tell you his story? He called me up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his person called me up. Yeah. Yeah, one night I was there. I guess I was getting ready for bed or whatever. Yeah, maybe it was probably a Sunday night. But then I was getting ready to go ahead and get myself to bed. I usually work at the factory. I had to get up like at 5 o'clock. So then... get a phone call saying, hey, Jerry Garcia wants you to come on over to, bring your stuff and we'll be jamming.
Oh, wow.
And so I told Dee, somebody named Jerry Garcia. I don't know who that is.
Oh, my gosh. Dang. You got to call the jam with him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I didn't even know who he was.
Right. Oh, jeez.
She goes, oh, no. You better not go. You got to wake up real early. So
right.
Yeah, you better not do it. So I said, oh, okay.
Dang.
No, sorry, I can't make it.
Right. Oh, that's such a trip.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was there later on. I go, what? What did I do?
That was Jerry Garcia.
Dang.
Too funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now it's funny.
Right. I know.
Yeah. No, really, it was. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
terrible.
When I get into that topic, I sort of remember at the very beginning. I think episode 1 or 2. Yeah, it's a thing to always remember. It's your environment, where you put yourself, becomes the area that you go ahead and start to grow. Now, I got a lot of people that are heading out towards Nashville now, and then going out there to be more exposed because the creative bubble's there.
Right.
And then, that's basically what you got to do. Little small places are good, but it's good to be inside the group, so that way you can grow and understand what the industry is all about before you get clobbered,
All right.
Yeah, because that's what happens. So I just happened to be here when they called, and then I happened to be that close to Hollywood. I happened to be close to a friend that knew a friend. Mm-hmm. They're just sitting out there jamming. That's what Jerry does best,
Sure,
goes out there and develops new ideas through jam gatherings. Mm-hmm. And so, it's just like, But if I was invading Nevada, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
That's right.
Maybe so, though. Maybe so. You don't know. Yeah. Luck of the draw.
Still got to be where the action's at, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Well, yeah, so anyways, I was talking about I had to go ahead and find out what the general public was up to. So, I started joining these little protests here and there, and, they were with good cause. We got a street, I think, I'm not sure what the name of the street was before, but we changed it to Martin Luther King Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And back then, that was a pretty good deal. Because during my time frame, I did witness the Rio riots in 1965.
Right. Yeah.
And so then I did see that my level of thinking was and still is that people should be pretty well equal. Not everybody's equal, of course. Everybody's individual, but representation of just about everybody should be equal.
Right.
But anyways, so we had Martin Luther. We changed the street to Martin Luther King Boulevard. So when you drive by any place and you see Martin Luther King, then we were part of that particular demonstration that changed the names of those streets to Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, everybody followed that. So,
yes, that's big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was a good one. Mm-hmm. And then, in Los Angeles. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other one that I think was pretty big too was we were putting up San Onofre, nuclear power plant.
Oh yeah.
And so naturally I was against it, but it's just big business takes care of big business.
Right.
And so I was over there for that protest a lot, but then really my target, or our target at the time, because we already lost, was to go ahead and allow a sound system to come out of there to alert anybody in case we had a radiation leak.
Oh, right, yes.
So then...
that's all South County.
Right.
Yeah,
so then that was part of our protest, so we ended up, getting the sound system. So you go through San Clemente, you see the poles are up and everything. So, so I know that part worked too, so... it was good to go ahead and get involved that way. And then the music that they had out there was, like Marianne Faithfull, that kind of thing. It was a protest kind of thing, the acoustic stuff. And
sure.
You go in there and everybody would get high, I guess. And
More the hippie?
Yeah, that's right. It was a hippie invasion. Yeah.
Hippie invasion.
Yeah. Peace and love,
That's right.
But anyways, so that's what I picked up from that style. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, let me go back into what we had in 1971 or 72, around the 70s. Yeah, Joy to the World was number 1 by the Three Dog Night. Number 2 was by the Osmond, One Bad Apple. Then Rod Stewart with Maggie May. Carole King, It's Too Late. Knock 3 Times with Tony, Orlando, and Don. Indian Reservation by Paul Revere and the Raiders. Shaft, Isaac Hayes.
All right.
Ads by the Honeycombs. Smiling Faces, Smiling Faces sometimes. They don't tell the truth. The Undisputed Truth. And The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down by Joan Baez. So that was what was happening in there. So then the protest one was probably Joan Baez. Yeah. That style of music. Mm-hmm. So the blend of everything was pretty broad.
All right.
Because then you got Carole King was like probably the neutral, and then for the older group was probably Tony Orlando, and then of course, Three Dog Night was everybody's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And then for African American, was Shaft, Isaac Hayes.
Right.
Shaft, mean motherfucker, shut up. Whoops. Excuse me. I got loose on that one. Got to contain me. Beep,
Shaft
beep.
movies are awesome.
Yeah, talking about Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, then I guess I switched over to, let's see, I wanted to still go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So after my 40 or 50-hour work week, then I had a few extra hours to go to school. So I started a routine, I guess. Musically, I recall, and naturally I'd still be playing with my dads and my uncles and everything, so we'd, be playing Mexican-style music.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be our gatherings, our regular gatherings. So we'd still be playing that,
right?
Enjoying all that kind of thing. And I think even, I had a story over here that I don't know if the Dorados would like it that much, but anyways, ranchetta style music.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, Pete, my uncle, was playing at a club around the block from my grandparents' house, and you couldn't beat it. Pete's voice. Pete had an awesome voice.
Mm-hmm.
He played a guitar and a regular harp, ding, ding, with the strings.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a harmonica. Mm-hmm. But anyways, his voice was so good that the local radio stations would play him live every time he was over there at the club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you'd be able to hear him. I was able to hear him on the car radio because naturally I'm going way back. Right. But anyways, because I couldn't go in the club. But my dad would always park over on the side of the club over there, and we dial in, then I'd hear Pete over there singing on the radio.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways, my grandpa didn't know that he was doing this because he disapproved of all that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
So,
Just being out.
Yeah, no drinking, no smoking, none of that kind of environment. So,
right.
Yeah, he had a good job during the day, but he was he'd go over there and sing. So, yeah, our family would really get into that style of music. So it was pretty neat to go ahead and experience that.
Sure, yeah.
Then realize that it wasn't a good option to go ahead and switch to become an entertainer or anything like that. And still exists today. It's just a tough field to get into. Yeah, all the arts.
Right.
Yeah.
You do it for the love.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, back in that day too, I started to go out to Griffith Park. So Griffith Park was the next place where all the people met. It was like going to whatever Barry up there in San Francisco. So Griffith Park, all the hippies would get together, and everybody would go out there and start playing. And over by by the carousel, I guess it is. Ride around on a horse and goes like this. But anyways, everybody would meet there on Sundays.
Oh, nice.
But back in the earlier times, I guess the exposure to war was actually a group over here that was our local heroes, and they ended up being out there all the time.
Right.
So then we had war, and then Earth, Wind, and Fire, all these kind of groups that cater to the Latin and the middle ground of musical world.
Los Lobos too.
Yeah, probably. What would happen is everybody would show up.
Okay.
Everybody would go ahead and play, and then different band members would pop in there and then send the ideas over to the other people. But what was fun was doing that, but at the same time, I think I was playing out some chords for something that was going to my brains, and then the guy comes over with a boom. So they were sending pros out there to go ahead and pick up the music.
Yeah.
So that way, whenever they found something, then they go ahead and capture it. So it was like the beginning of, the way rap music is today. You get your line, you get your hook, boom, you bring it in.
Right.
Then you just drive that and then drive it a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
Put your own twist to it. They've always done that stuff.
Yes.
So one time I remember I was doing that, and the next thing I knew, I heard those rhythms on the radio going, oh no, I committed the mortal sin.
Yeah.
I gave away one of my things. How bad.
Oh, jeez.
So after that, what I do now is I'd go play and just chop it. I never release the whole idea.
Right. That's funny. Yeah.
It's funny in a way, and then another way it's sort of like, oh.
No, it sucks.
You got to watch out.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You got to watch out.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways, that was in that time frame.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that.
They'd
be out there almost like just whatever's good, pick that up and call it their own, which.
Right. Yeah, which
that
is
kind of sucks
in one way, but then another way you saw your idea expand.
Right.
So it just did give you a motivation if you looked at it that way.
Right. Yeah.
But then for me, it was like, I gotta hide it.
Yeah.
So when I
go
when I go to a jam, then I'd only give a little taste and never the full idea out. Mm-hmm. So hard obstacle to overcome. Really.
Right. Yes. It's gotta keep on creating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that's it.
It seems like we're going to have to pay the bills if we get any further with this conversation. So,
all right.
I think the lady in charge is giving us the flag.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, son.
We want to wrap it up then?
Yeah, I think we better, or else I'll get spanked.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Get it up.
Don't
Whoops. Let me get it up.
Yep.
Boom. All right. Thank you, son.
Cheers.
All right. Very good.
Very good. And thanks everyone for listening, watching.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Thank Dee Dee. Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.